Okay, here we are with Basie, and we're going to talk about putting the bridle on. He is still clipped into the cross ties, which is perfect because we want to go ahead and put our reins over his head first. We're going to unbuckle those cross ties from each side. We put those reins over his head, and that way we have something to grab onto if he does decide to walk away. Basie's a pretty good boy though, so he shouldn't. I'm going to remove the halter. And I'm just going to drape it. I'm just going to drape it over my arm. Actually, I'm just going to go ahead and lay it on the ground over here, and the team leader will help make sure that that gets picked up right away. At Southern Reins, we keep the cavesson buckled, but loosely, because we keep a little ring on here for our lead ropes. So we're going to want to make sure that his nose is going through that cavesson as we go to put the bit on. The bit is at the crack in his teeth. I'm holding the rest of the bridle in my right hand, also holding his head. And then I'm just gonna guide that bit in between his teeth there and slide everything up kind of in one motion. Then I'm gonna be able to tuck his ears in and then kind of fit everything up, pull his mane over the brow band there. So now that cavesson was very loose, and I'm going to snug it up. We usually like those cavessons or noseband, as you might know it, to be pretty snug, but I can still get a couple fingers in there. It's not tight, it's just snug. Then this throat latch is this long piece hanging. It's going to come right in this little groove behind this little cute little cheek here. And we are just gonna have it pretty loose. Actually, I actually like to be able to get 3 or 4 fingers in there. And then of course, make sure that everything is inside of its keepers. On a bridle, pretty much every strap is gonna have 2 keepers. And we do like to try to make sure that all those keepers are in place. And so now he has his bridle on with his little ring at the bottom. Easy peasy. And then to take it all back off, to lead him first though, we would take those reins over his head. So since I have the reins over his head and I'm holding him, I can safely pick my halter back up off the ground. And I am going to go ahead and show you now how to take it all back off. So we're gonna put the reins back over his head. I'm gonna come around here to the left side, and I'm gonna unbuckle everything. I'm gonna unbuckle that throat latch. I'm gonna loosen the cavesson back down to the bottom so the ring doesn't fall off, but so that it will slide off easily. And then I'm gonna reach behind the ears and just gently start to slide the bridle over. At this point, I'm gonna kind of start to lower it, but I'm gonna let Basie kind of drop that bit, which he's not doing. So I'm gonna just wiggle it a little bit, yep, and then he'll open his mouth. I just wanna make sure that I'm not yanking it past his teeth or dropping it hard on his teeth, anything like that. Again, I still have my reins here holding on to him, and I'm gonna go ahead and slip that halter back on his face, buckling behind his cheek. And I'm gonna keep my reins over while I grab my cross ties. And then I can kind of start to bring those reins over and get him clipped back in. All right, and that is going to be bridling and unbridling.